Hi guys, Joss Allen from GAK.co.uk here with another terrific product, but this time from the gentlemen and ladies of Line 6 amplification. Today we are going to be doing a demonstration of the Line 6 Spider 5, the brand new Spider from the guys at Line 6. So what I wanted to do is, so that you could hear it more than me waffle on about it, I wanted to run you through a couple of specific points that I think are important about the amplifier. In other words, just kind of messing around with the patches that are already there, essentially, and then just scrolling through and having a mess around and having a play through a load and seeing what the amp actually sounds like. I've been sitting here and scrolling through all of the different sets and presetted options and messing around with bits and pieces and stuff, so it is a fantastic little amplifier here, and they do go up in wattage as well. This is the 30 and then they go up from there, and you've got the 60, you've got the 120. So the amplifier has 79 presetted options on there already for you to give a go and have a mess around with and stuff. So I'm going to take this James Tyler variax 59 style guitar here. Awesome guitar, very cool. It does have the battery in it, but it is running low, so I am going to have a mess around with it in due time, just to see if we can get some sort of spankier single coil sounds out of it as well. But for the most part, we're going to be using the pickups that are already set inside the guitar. So what I just wanted to start off with first off is just looking at a preset. So you turn the amp on and we've come up with this one here, which is the Arachnid Rhythm. Not the one for the faint of heart if you're an arachnophobic person. Nah. So we have this Arachnid Rhythm here, and that sounds like this. Nice big rock sound, but say if that's not to your taste, say you wanted to add something or take something away. So let me show you how to do that. It is as simple as moving the knobs to your taste. So say I wanted, let's have a look at this again. I want to drop the treble. A little bit warmer for my taste, so that's cool. I'm happy with the settings there now that I've had a mess around with that. So what you can do is, as you see, you've got your drive, your bass, your mids, your treble, and your volume. So you've got your sort of your band EQ at the top here, and then underneath you have compression, effects 1, effects 2, effects 3, and reverb. So all you have to do is hit the effects button, and it drops the menu down. So then you see that these sort of signals here have lit up, and they correspond to what's on the screen over here. So on the screen over that side you have compression, then you have distortion, which is the orange, you have modulation, which is the purple, I believe, or blue, and then you have the delays, which are green, and then reverb is a separate one of its own. So if I wanted to, say for instance that sound, distortion, at the moment you can change what pedals they are that are inside it as well. Obviously you can change the effects. But at the moment this one has got a screamer, which I would assume is like an Ibanez tube screamer set to it. So this is the sound with the screamer completely off. And then I wanted to add a little bit more. So you've got a nice big sound there, which has just been, just because we've added a little bit of distortion. We've added that screamer, that tube screamer sound to it. And then also you have these effects here. So at the moment on effects, on the modulation effect, it is set to a flanger. But all you have to do is take yourself to this knob here, and then you can scroll through the actual effects that you want on there. So that's also very cool. And then on this side here, we have our delays, which can also be scrolled through to as well. So it's set to analog at the moment. What we can do is actually add a tap tempo. So if I want to slow it really down, 1, 2, 3, 4, slow the analog delay right down so the screamer is still on there, and then you get this sick sort of lead sound. So from a low gain sort of rocky sound, we managed to accomplish adding reverb, delay, compression, and then changing the EQ essentially completely to something that I wanted to hear instead of it being completely flat response. So say we have this matchless chief presetted option. And I want to mess around with the EQ on that. Which is all good, but if I hit the amp button, I'm on match chief here, and I hit edit, it takes me in even further. So what I can do is I can even change the cabinet. So I go down to cab and I hit edit on cab, and then I can actually scroll through. So it's a 212 matchless there right now, 212 jazz, 212 wishbook. So I can go all the way up to a 410. So there you go, look, 412 greenback 20s in there. So then I just hit edit again, and then that takes me out of that. So that's what it sounds like with a 412. But I can go as far as going to something like, I can actually sort of scroll down, go to the mics. At the moment it's got a 57A on there. I hit edit, and you can scroll through the different microphones. So if I just play a note, which is very, very cool. So if I come out of there and I hit effects, now we can start messing around with effects on the amplifier. So once again, I've got the effects one, which is the screamer. Bring the analog delay right down. Got a little bit of reverb on there. So essentially it's an amplifier that you can really, really change and cater to the own things that you want to have on the amplifier. So as you can see there, we went to a choice of amplifier, then we chose the cabinet, so I chose a 410, then we chose the microphone, so there was a 57S on there, and then we adjusted the EQ to dictate how I wanted the amp to sound, and then we added our effects from the multitude of effects that you can actually choose from on there. So it's very, very easy to cater to your own needs, create sounds from the presetted options that are already in there if you didn't want to create or go from scratch. So also the amplifier has built-in drum presets in there as well, so you can jam along to some drum stuff. And then you also have obviously you have your phone's input, so you can practice silently. And on the far right there, you have your master volume. The tap tempo also as well, if you push and hold it in, it turns into a tuner, which is always a nice thing to have around. So just quickly scroll through my guitar. So as you can see there, and then just tap it again, and it takes you back to the guitar. So a very, very easy amp to mess around with and play with. So as I said before, what I want to do is just scroll through the settings, and we'll just have a look at a bunch of different amps and see what they sound like. For all you guys that are worried, I wouldn't, because it still has the Line 6 Spider Insane setting. So that was just a handful of bits and pieces that I was just scrolling through, then just seeing what they sound like and messing around with myself. Then you start getting into some really, really cool stuff like this model here that is called a Synth Lead. So it has a whole block of synth patches. Check this out. So you've got some really, really interesting stuff on there as well. The whole Synth Lead patch section is actually really fun. So you've got like an 8-bit version, what it's called. So you can have a lot of mess around fun with this and stuff. A lot of mess around fun. Yes, I said that. So there's a whole synth bank, as you can see there. There's a whole mod bank as well. So you've got like a Univibe. Really, really great sounding patches. Really, really fun. Rotary patch, so that's always good as well. So, as I said, you start getting different sort of banks of specific sounds. So that was the synth patch, then you had like an effects patch, and then you've got a rock patch. So this is supposedly a rock rhythm tone. And then there's going to be multiple different things. So you've got rock rhythm, you've got rock clean. So you've got things like rock solo. And as you said, it just keeps going through. So you start moving into like the realms of metal, metal clean, metal gent. So I've even got a D-gent setting on there for you multi-stringed instrumentalists. Metal solo. And then you start moving into all the different types of things. There's blues ones as well. So you've got a blues clean preset on there. Use the guitar to get a little bit of spank out of it, so it's on the spank setting. And then you can move into, so you've got blues clean, blues lead. Let's go back to the humbucker. Not exactly my bluesiest playing, but just gives you the opportunity to hear what the setting could be sounding like. And then you start going into cool stuff like blues rotary. So there is a lot. I could literally just keep sitting here scrolling through the different sort of settings that they have on there. You even start moving into things like settings that are named after specific songs. So what do we have here? So we've got things like Everlong. So you move into settings like As You Are, which I could only assume is going to be So there is a hell of a lot you can do with this amplifier, and as I said, this is the smallest one they do, and it still sounds wicked. So make sure you come down to the store. They're in stock now. There are plenty of them to go around. They're awesome, awesome practice amplifiers, and if you are a gigging professional and you wanted something that you can really, really cater your sound to anything you want, then you've got the opportunity of having the larger sizes as well. The larger sizes have actually got a wireless relay system built in, so you buy the separate wireless adapter that plugs into your guitar, so you don't actually have to buy a wireless system ever. If you buy the, I believe it's the 60 and the 120, the stages up from this one, it actually has the receiver inside the amplifier, and then you buy the selection, the little one that goes onto your guitar, and it charges via the amplifier as well. So there is a lot going for it. So I hope you enjoyed the short demo of the Line 6, and go try them for yourself.